Welcome to The Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. So, by now you guys have heard and seen that President Biden decided to do an executive order as it relates to abortion rights. And I'm just going to break down exactly what is in the executive order that was put into effect this past Friday. So, the president is directing the Health and Human Services Secretary, Xavier Becerra, to submit a report to him within 30 days on the actions his department is taking on the matter. The president is also establishing an interagency task force on reproductive health. He wants to make sure that healthcare access is addressed. This is going to include Attorney General Merrick Garland. The HHS will take action to expand access to emergency contraception and long-acting reversible contraception like intrauterine devices or IUDs, according to the White House. The department is tasked with ensuring patients have access to full rights and protections for emergency medical care afforded under the law. And the president has directed Becerra to consider updating guidance that clarifies physician responsibilities and protections under the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act. Basically, because of this, there has been a story swirling around, and I think I had mentioned it in an earlier episode, about a young lady, well, I can't even say lady, young girl, 10 years old, who apparently was sexually assaulted, raped, and became pregnant. And whatever state that she was in at the time was not able to obtain an abortion and was crossed state lines, I think, with her mom to be able to have an abortion performed. But the thing about that is that apparently there was some sketchiness with that because the state that they traveled to, everybody's trying to make sense of these, new laws since Roe versus Wade has been struck down, and it has just been crazy. Doctors are having to hold off on certain procedures, even with miscarriages and things of that nature, because they want to make sure that they don't lose their license, that they're not breaking the law or having to talk to a lawyer to, it's just crazy. It has been quite a few incidents that have happened, but that was one of the ones that really stuck out. So, the reasoning for the executive order. Okay. So let me continue on. I'm just kind of looking at some bullet points here. Garland has also issued a statement saying states cannot ban mifepristone, and I think that's how you say it, a medication that is used to end early pregnancy that has FDA approval. And I don't know, I think that may be something like the Plan B pill. I'm thinking that's what that is. The department will ramp up outreach and public education efforts on abortion to ensure that Americans have access to reliable and accurate information about their rights and access to care. In preparation for expected legal challenges ahead, the Attorney General and the White House counsel are convening private pro bono attorneys and organizations to provide more legal representation to those lawfully seeking abortions as well as those providing them. The executive also focuses. The executive order. Why is that a tongue twister? The executive order also focuses on protecting patient privacy. That's another huge thing too. There's been a lot of corporate companies that have stepped forward and said, yes, we will help you and pay for you to go, to another state if you're in a state, but that doesn't, that no longer provides abortion services. But you know what? Why would I want to tell my job? Why would I want to tell and involve my employer on something so personal? It's just interesting to me how people just, think that this is okay. But okay. Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me. Anyway, the president is asking that the chair for the Federal Trade Commission to consider taking steps to protect consumer privacy when seeking information about reproductive health care services. Biden has also directed Becerra, in consultation with Garland and the FTC, to consider options to address deceptive or fraudulent practices to protect access to accurate information. The president is directing HHS to consider additional actions to safeguard sensitive information related to reproductive health care, including under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Becerra has directed the HHS Office of Civil Rights to issue new guidance related to the HIPAA privacy rule to clarify that doctors and medical providers are in most cases not required and in many instances not permitted to disclose the private information of patients, including to law enforcement. The office will also issue a guide for consumers on how to protect personal data on mobile apps. So this is what I was telling you a few episodes before, talking about period tracker apps. You having period tracker apps, we don't know where that information exactly is going, and me encouraging people to delete those apps because, to be very honest, we don't know where that information is being held, in a receptacle somewhere. You have no idea. So, yeah, I'm sure that that's going to be something that anybody who is a collector of that sort of information is probably going to have to jump through some extra hoops to make sure that the information is not being used, in a nefarious way. So here we go. The order also looks to ensure the safety of those seeking as well as providing abortion care, including by protecting mobile clinics that have been deployed to provide care for out-of-state patients. Okay? So, of course, it's very hard to come back and overturn something that's already in existence and all of that. So this is where executive orders come in. And Biden pretty much said that the Supreme Court is reckless right now. He just feels like their actions are pretty reckless. And, like I said, I was been watching different people talking about this and having their opinions on it. And, I don't think the general world is for death. I don't think anyone supports taking life. The everyday average person does not support that. But when you do blanket laws such as this, you are forgetting about all the other instances, that can slip through the cracks. And it's not just a few. It happens all the time. And I think that people are not realizing just how often these things go on. So I'm hoping that this is the start of some sort of change. This is the start of some sort of, a reasonable look at what women are dealing with as far as reproductive rights are concerned. It's so interesting to me. Wow. Do you realize that people are literally going to be in your most intimate business of your life? And that is just, it's still shocking to me. I mean, Roe versus Wade is probably just about as old as I am. And I'm telling you, I never thought I'd see anything like this. But you know what? There's been many things that we've seen that we thought we wouldn't see. So, I'm glad that the president did this. I'm hoping that this sparks more people to come to the table to speak more intelligently about how serious of a situation this is and all the other things that we're dealing with, and gun violence being, the next thing right or neck and neck with in line. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of give a little bit of clarity to that. I think people are thinking that, oh, the whole thing is done, it's over, and it went back to the way it was. That's not true. But what an executive order can do is to put a stay on some things so we can clarify what we're going to do down the road. And that's why executive orders are important, especially for things like this. So I know there was a lot of protesting today that went on in D.C., I believe. I think there was a big protest of women gathering to kind of put more pressure on government to, come around the table with this, and from what I understand, there's even more that can be done. So this is just hopefully the first of many steps to, to really address this, because it's a serious matter. Anyway, that's my commentary on this. I hope it clears it up for some people. I've had lots of conversations with, short conversations with folks, and I did tell a few people that I was going to be doing, like a breakdown of each of the points of the executive order. So I hope this helps better explain. And, let's see where it goes from here. Actually, there'll be that new report coming to the president in the next 30 days. So let's see what that report entails and, see where this goes. Because it's not just for my rights, people coming up for me. I'm not having any children, but there may be other people younger than me who are, coming up and deciding what they want to do with their lives, and they should have certain access to the best and safe care. Oh, man, this is the world we're living in, you guys. Anyway, like, share, subscribe to this podcast. Tag me on social media at Onyx Queen Media. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.